Happy New Year, everybody. This is the first day of 2019, our very first video. So we want to do something a little bit special for you guys. Now, everybody loves a good speculation. So for today's news, we want to give you our top 5 predictions of 2019. Prediction number 1. Institutional money will determine the fate of crypto. Like how we saw at the end of 2017, every mom, pops, young child with a bit of savings, or anybody on the street really who wants to make a killing jumped onto the crypto bandwagon, only to be totally wrecked in 2018. But what I do imagine in 2019 would be a year for the institutional investors and accredited investors. People with money and they actually know how to make money will jump onto the crypto bandwagon this time around, and they will be manipulating the market. When I say manipulating, I don't mean in a nefarious way, but these are the very people who know how to pump money and sway decisions. Also, there's talk that the recent bear market trend is a false impression, and according to our friends out from the Wall Street side of the world, investors are actually snapping all this Bitcoin up and all the other altcoins on the cheap. So while the mainstream investors are having weak hands and running away, people with the money to sustain, buy in and hold are actually hoarding up on these Bitcoins. So while this may yet be another FOMO tactic for another bull trap, when it comes to crypto, it's really hard to say. So my prediction is we will be seeing lots of big money being pumped in. So if you're not a weak-handed crypto investor, why don't you just buy in on the cheap now and just hodl on if you can? So while I really hate to predict how much Bitcoin will rise up at the end of 2019, one thing I am quite confident of is that Bitcoin will not be at 2,500 or the 3,000 that we have seen in 2018. Prediction number 2, 90% of cryptocurrencies will die. The recent sell-off in crypto prices has seen many companies tank or hold off their project indefinitely. If you go check out the website deadcoins.com, out of the 2,000 listed coins, 1,000 are already dead, either because the business did not take off, they're scams, or just pure bullshit projects that no one bothers to buy. So we are already seeing 50% of the projects that came out pre-2019 already dead or dying, and it wouldn't take long for the next 40% to go down that direction as well. So by prediction, at the end of 2019, we will be seeing 90% of the past projects just totally wiped out of existence. So the good projects will remain, but even then we will not be seeing that kind of mighty jump, the 10,000% jump that we see in 2018 or the end of 2017. Blockchain protocol projects might make a comeback. They seem to have fallen out of grace in 2018 with more developers choosing to create dApps instead. But now with the Ethereum's upgrade, EOS, Tron, we might be seeing a good fight for the blockchain protocol space when the actual transaction speed will improve by leaps and bounds. Also, we might see the SEC coming down on companies who are outright scams or influencers who have been supporting them. Even though the projects have gone and have died, well, they may still be slapped with a fine for their involvement in such projects last time. Prediction number 3. More enterprises and governments will push blockchain adoption, but for the private sector. It was all fun to work on new projects for the mainstream customers, but really a B2C approach in business is tough as hell for adoption, especially when crypto is so new and no one really knows how to use it. Or the question is, do we even need to use cryptocurrency? But the blockchain, on the other hand, everybody can agree that the technology is pretty sweet, and our governments have been actually working behind the scenes to develop blockchain solutions. Private companies like IBM or the big shipping company that we talked about a few episodes ago, I can't remember their name, but they have all been looking at blockchain solutions for their own private use. We will see things like supply chain transparency, tracking, legal documentation, identity tracking, remittance and money transfers between banks and financial institutions. And we also see trials of elections and driver license being put on the blockchain. Well, it's immutable, you can't hack it, you can't touch it, so why not, right? And it's pretty easy, it's all digital. So when you think about blockchain as a form of digital storage or ledger as it is, they begin to have a wider appreciation for the blockchain technology and not so much the cryptocurrency. So I do see a lot of private companies and governments pushing out blockchain solution, though the masses will not necessarily know that it's on the blockchain because it's going to be live as usual. And the cost savings that would be brought about because of this blockchain adoption. Now the question is whether the mainstream audience, the people, the customers who are using these solutions will benefit from this cost saving, or usually I guess these private companies will just enjoy that cost savings for their own profit purposes, bottom line, right? So speaking of big companies, we have seen companies like IBM, Ant Financial, SAP, and many more are already experimenting with the blockchain. But I believe all these companies are under immense pressure to be in the race, to be the first company to provide these solutions for their customers. So for government and countries, we are already seeing Malta branding itself as the blockchain country. Now for 2019, I predict that we may see more countries or states doing so, like Estonia, Jeju Island, Singapore, and many others. In 2018, we saw lots and lots of decentralized exchanges hitting the marketplace, but not many of them actually can live up to the hype. Security and scalability being the main aspect. So between having anonymous transaction and the safety and security and liquidity of centralized exchange, most people go to centralized exchanges. But in fact, even CZ from Binance have stated that decentralized exchange is the way to go, but not just yet. However, in 2019, I do see and I predict that more decentralized exchanges will be able to mature, provide greater security, and also the anonymous nature that comes from decentralized exchanges. But main thing that every decentralized exchange must consider first is liquidity. There's no point having an account on an exchange where I can't sell my stuff. So for 2019, my prediction for decentralized exchanges will be better customer service, higher liquidity, and better security features. The increased index awareness and usage will be spurred on by the heightened regulations and restrictions from countries like US and China and India that has banned cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency exchanges. Decentralized exchanges are great for investors who want to trade without the need to provide their identity. However, that is a main pain point with a lot of government agencies because of KYC and AML considerations. My final prediction for 2019 is that we will see more simplified applications and use case projects coming out from blockchain. Already we have apps that have came up in 2018 like Blockfolio, Delta, CoinStats, and wallets like Trust and IM Token and so on. Now these are the kind of apps that help people interface with the very complicated world of cryptocurrency with just a single interface. More of this will start to emerge as more projects will try to fight for mainstream adoption and getting just about anybody B2C level on board their project. More usage, more traction, more traffic is all about big data play. Even if you're not selling cryptocurrencies, having the community adopting your project, that is going to be the main key feature and fighting point for a lot of projects coming out from 2019. Also, from what I heard from the grapevine is that a lot of people who are not traders are really confused by candlesticks, Ichimoku clouds, and all the other terminologies, and they just want to have some form of predictive application that tells them what to buy. So no matter how you want to bring people away from crypto or stop people from speculating and gamble, greed will still be the main driving force for people adopting cryptocurrency. So for all these apps that's coming out for 2019, if they are able to make adoption easy for people and to be able to give them predictive forecasts on what to buy and how to read based on trends and big data analysis, this is going to be a big selling point. Now that's the end of my 2019 prediction. Let's see 1 year from now how accurate we are on Rock the Block Live. But you know what, don't just wait for that. Our Satoshi's quest is ending very, very soon. In fact, registration is over. You have just 3 more days to solve the puzzle, and our Bitcoin is waiting for you at the end of the rainbow if you get access to the private key. Now, all that and more, stay tuned, like, subscribe, and share. Rock the block with all your friends. Don't get left behind because 2019 is going to be one hell of a wild ride. The increased index. See, I can't remember the first line now. Booyah! Fucking nailed it!